When it says it started. Okay. Hi, everybody. So this is the third session. We had session 0, then session 1, and now session 2 of Steel and Airship. We started Gild the Most Beautiful Gear, which is the first milestone in our journey here. Last time we played, our faithful party here were boarded on an airship that had some technical difficulties that eventually had them all tilted and gathered in a small room trying to handpick a needle out of the haystack, which was a gear, the perfect gear, to get the ship flying at the right orientation again. The characters we have we have Kevin playing. Kevin, what's your character's name?
Guido Giuseppe.
All right.
Milestone.
Yes. And then Michael, we have you playing.
Brennan Gregson.
Yes.
Indignant Gear Tinkerer.
And last but not least, Vincent, we have you playing.
Archie Less, the Happy Dancer.
Okay. So immediately after, you, Grandin, you have the gear in your hand, and all of you have been kicked out of this small room that was just outside of the engineering room. With the appropriate gear in hand, what do you do? It does look like, well, I guess we should leave with Archie. Are you knocked out, or are you coming to, or are you just depressed right now because you don't have that shoe?
Well, I'm trying to get myself together.
What does that look like to the other two? And think of it, you're in one of those weird rooms like at the fair, that like the room slowly spinning kind of thing, and you are all having to move to like keep standing upright. Well,
I'm not making a great effort to actually get off the floor right at this moment.
So when the tilt eventually comes, you like slide to the corner of the floor and you like kind of backward somersault.
Mm-hmm.
Which, mind you, is very graceful when people do it on purpose, but when they don't, it looks really sloppy.
You gotta hold yourself, Dancy Pants.
Brandon, it's important to remember, point out that you always have what in your hand, or what very nearby?
Oh, Betsy.
That's right. And Betsy is your?
My hammer.
That's right. It's okay.
My true love.
And Kevin, what do you look like in this situation? You were actually left. You were kind of back and withdrawn towards the door. You were not in the heart of all the problems that was going on.
No, I was being amused by the whole thing, really. It was all just a bit
not to mention drinking.
Drinking, and I do have my bottle still, so I'm drinking.
Okay. Grandin, it's your show. So what are you doing with that gear? This ship is very rocky. You can hear more people up top yelling. You can hear the few sailors. We said there's not too much of a crew, but you can hear some men yelling to each other from above deck. We're going to tilt. If we tilt anymore, we'll flip. The passengers will fall. We'll lose our course. And this is all jumbled up in miscommunication. But
so
multiple voices.
A couple
Brandon's
talking back and forth.
There.
Yeah.
Brandon's standing there looking at this gear in his hand and very meticulously counting the teeth on the gears.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Something is tumbling through the hall. Basically just like remnants of some of the pieces that also came out with you, and hits you along the side as you're counting. Does that stop your counting, or does that bother you at all? How heavy?
Probably about, most of the stuff in there sucked. So let's say about 8 pounds.
Yeah, that would stop my counting. At 7, probably.
Okay.
Did anyone find a 15-tooth gear?
That's what we were just looking for.
In his hand, you quickly see that it looks like a 15-tooth gear. So it sounds like a really dumb question to you.
What does it matter how many teeth there are anyway? Why are we so meticulous about our teeth?
Well, listen, we need a 9-tooth gear for the blimp, but I need a 15-tooth gear for me.
Right.
We need to take that.
I think there's one at the bottom of this bottle.
You guys are no help.
Well, who you worried about?
Archie, get off your butt.
shouldn't we be worried about the ship first?
You may be right.
People from the back end of the hall who were in that sort of mess area that all of you were in, you could hear some screaming back there. Oh!
Screaming, dishes breaking.
Yeah, there's plenty of that as well.
I wouldn't mind seeing some of those people fall out. That'd be quite the show.
They probably are.
Much as
They're just behind that door.
Much as I'd like to see this dirigible go up in flames, and they haven't treated me well, but all these people can't go. Let's get this gear in place.
Okay. You, given the current circumstances, have to get to the position to put it in place. It's not a super hard challenge, but what strategy would you use to get there? And depending on your results, it may become a challenge.
It's hammering.
Hammering.
Always.
How are you going to use hammering to get there?
So I'm going to use it as kind of like a pickaxe to like.
Of course you are.
grapple onto things and pull myself up, kind of like a rock climber might do.
Awesome. Obviously, imagine hammering.
All right. Double success.
Excellent. How many?
2 successes, and it's a double.
Oh, great. Okay, so we get you. You didn't say perfect success, right? You just said a success.
Oh yeah, perfect success. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! All right, so you tell me what happens.
Really, just the hammer hits all the right places, and just takes a couple swings to drag myself to the perfect spot, right where the missing gear was.
He looks like a monkey climbing through trees as he just kind of easily sinks it into the wall and almost lunges with it from place to place. Okay, when you get into the next section, which is completely above you, you're climbing up the tunnel almost vertically at the point. You said you kind of toss it up in the air, or do you kind of like bonk it up in place, or?
I just kind of frisbee it right into where it goes.
And as you let it spin from your hand
and right as it hits where it goes, yeah. Betsy plink to set it in its place.
Nice. Did you throw Betsy as well?
Yes.
All right. So Betsy hits the Betsy hits the gear right into place. Right before it links in, there's that moment where Archie can look up and see that the gear hits the location perfectly, and then Guido sees that nothing happened though, and then a hammer gets thrown, hits it with a perfect tink, and the ship almost immediately begins to level out, which again throws everyone on the insides along to the side of a wall or something of the sort. When this happens, oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
So that's the most awesome thing I've ever seen.
Thank you.
As this happens, Grandin, as you basically flip, you eventually fall in that case. Like you throw it, the ship turns and subsides. You land on your feet, but then get tossed over the side. And when you do, you kind of like land on your back and slide against the wall. Then the ship settles, and you find a 15 teeth gear that happens to be in your hands. It seems to have come out of your clothing.
It's the most beautiful gear I've ever seen. You guys see this? You see it?
Kevin, you'd be first. So, Guido, what would you do? I mean, you got tossed a little bit too, but you were kind of ready for it. You saw the whole thing happening.
Yeah, I keep my bottle straight as I stumble all around. And he shows me the gear. And I'm like, I told you we found a 15-tooth gear.
I just look at it and go, it looks exactly like the other one.
Don't be daft. Look at teeth, the way they're just cut so perfectly. The steel it's forged from, it's just gorgeous. I must make it gold.
When you look beyond the gear, Grandin, somehow with the other gears that are placed in their own devices along the wall, opposite of you, you can see movement behind the gear, almost as if there was two gears that interlocked it into one. And it gives you this conception of a multi-purpose gear, kind of like the gear to rule them all. If you had a gear that worked almost like as you spin this, the next gear would counter spin, which is the concept of gears, right? But it gives you this concept of a one multi-purpose gear that you believe you heard of a material that could possibly create something that could actually mold into the needs of what it had. Maybe a gear that could actually
skeleton gear.
Yeah. They could mold into maybe being a 15-tooth gear, and then at times being the 9-tooth if need to be. And you believe that this would be done by a material called glitter gold. Glitter gold could be softened when needed, and it could be hardened when needed. And this image happens in this sort of mild concussion that you have as you hit the wall and slid and have the 15-tooth gear in your hands. The other two are standing above you as you kind of come to, and didn't even realize you were having this sort of conversation with the two of them about the small talk you were having as this sort of thought was going through your head. Above deck, a door panel opens up, and a man yells down, who is clearly the captain that you know, Captain Hack. Grandin, are you okay?
I've never been better, Captain.
That's a very strange response, considering the situation.
We're all better now.
The other two of you can see his head kind of dipping. There's a floor panel that was opened up, and you can see a head kind of looking just out this panel downward. That normally you'd take a ladder to come down, but anyway, you just see his head kind of sticking out. He's obviously bent over.
Yeah. As soon as that door opened, though, I'm finding a place to hide.
Okay. You were nowhere to be seen. Granted, is it safe? The malfunction, has it been fixed?
Oh, it's just dandy down here now. Sorry about all the ruckus.
I think we need to land. We need to make sure everything's situated. Everything got rumbled up pretty good. The passengers are probably scared.
I think they're fine. They've been drinking enough.
Grandin,
just fine.
Do you have any strategies that would help you know of places and locations, maybe of quality resources or goods?
I don't know.
Okay. Why don't you roll Imagine Untrained?
Imagine Untrained.
Yeah. Which is under a 3.
No.
Okay.
On either.
Okay. And Archie, you can't help but thinking that if we landed, you could get your shoe. Because getting situated right now means you have access to getting your shoe. Otherwise, it's in that room with a bundle of electricity or magnetic pulse that you know of.
I've got one shoe on right now.
One tapping shoe.
Sure. I need shoes. I said right out loud. I said I need shoes.
Mama gave him those shoes.
The captain, I don't understand what your shoes have to do with anything right now. He only sees the two of you. So Grandin, there's no reason for us to stop at the moment. You think that we can get situated and the passengers should be okay? He shuts the door. What am I talking to you for? You're the engineer.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you say fair enough to the flap shutting, and You see Archie in front of you talking about how he needs his shoes.
Archie, you want me to go in there and get your tap shoe?
Please.
Least I could do for all this trouble.
In the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, people amongst the small crew of the ship begin talking about how the ship itself is going to make an emergency landing, and they don't mean for anyone to be. They say emergency landing, but they really just mean we are going to land at a nearby dock to make sure that everyone is in good health and that everything is situated so that we don't have a mishap like that again. obviously, since I said emergency landing, there is a lot of miscommunication as everyone goes, emergency landing. Is there anything that the three of you would like to do in that time period?
Yeah, go to the cobbler. I need a cobbler.
You need a cobbler. Well, the two of you are going to try to get that shoe, right? So we can look at that. Kevin, is there anything you're doing with Guido?
Yeah, actually, this time of chaos on an airship like that is a perfect
Yes.
time to do some pilfering and maybe expand my wealth a little bit.
Certainly. Is there any way about going away, any way of doing that you would prefer?
I think the easiest thing as people are running around in a panic screaming is just the good old-fashioned pickpocket.
All right. What strategy would help you do some pickpocketing?
I have sleight of hand.
Okay. Are you looking for anything in particular? Are you trying to find any particular marks, or are you just trying to grab anything that's shiny?
Actually, I'm looking for two things in particular. The first is just cash money, and the second would be any kind of like entrance ticket or pass to the race, the great race.
Ooh, good call.
Something I want to get into.
Hey, there's a stowaway who doesn't have a ticket. Big surprise.
Exactly. So I guess that would probably be just reason sleight of hand, right?
That sounds fair, yeah, because they're all pickings right now.
So I got I got 2 failures actually.
Okay. Do you have any tags that help you?
I do. I have rogue.
Rogue.
And I also have in the shadows. So
You tell me which one you'd prefer.
rogue. I mean, this is something I do every day.
It's what I do.
Let's see. Oh, failed again.
Okay. Now,
Maybe I've been drinking too much.
give me 1 second. We are using the new sheet. So let me just pull that up so I know the differences on there. So, okay.
Oh,
yes,
actually, in the new rules, though, Pete, can I not use rogue because I have a overconfident tag that's in place of it right now?
Oh, you do have, yeah, that's a good call. We won't well, sure. Why don't we penalize you? That sounds fair. I know you, and I think you appreciate that, so we'll do that. Most oftenly, I'd be like, no, I won't screw you over, but for you, Kevin, I will, just this once.
Brought it up.
Okay, so what Kevin's referring to is that we're going to play test the idea that if you have 2 rows of tags, there's a left column and a right column in the character sheet. That the left column are the ones that you make, the ones that get voted onto your character, and the right column are the ones that are temporary or given to you from the game master because of a challenge. So those are usually negative. So if they're to the right of one of your good ones, you can't use your good one anymore. So there's the added penalty of having the negative tag that can be held against you, but there's also the negative of you lose the ability of one of your other tags that you might use normally. So with that said, so we can't use that. I could hold overconfident against you, but you already double failed. So do you have any other? You said rogue and hide in plain sight, was it?
In the shadows, I have.
In the shadows, but you could use the other one, right? So what's the other one?
No, the other one was rogue, which I can't use.
Okay. Hide in shadows.
I do have overconfident. Maybe I could just. I'm just really used to doing it. Turn that negative into a positive.
You sure can. You could. That is a part of the deal there. But hide in shadows works too. Either one do you want to use?
In the shadows. Oh, that's a success. So I have 1 success. One failure.
All right. So you start plundering different goods, and the guide also loves the idea of you getting one of these tickets. There is a negative or a side effect to it, but your character doesn't know yet. So you find yourself holding one of these tickets in an envelope that has a little seal on it that has the markings of the
Mentara Spectacular.
Thank you. Making sure that I don't get in the habit of saying the wrong thing. The Mentara Spectacular. The front has no address E, so you take that as a good thing. You also find some funds, mostly money, because people are coming and they are bringing money for the affair. They plan to buy things.
Nice. So I guess I'm spending cash.
Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of going on over the 15, 20 minutes as, people are being kind of ushered back to their seats in their areas and told to be calm and don't worry. Emergency was a little bit of an overstatement. We're just going to land. And you know where we're going? We're going to a place called, Pete has to remember what it's called, Salandon. And Salandon is a tropical paradise. So for all the alarm that they start throwing up in the air about the emergency landing, when they start saying we're going to stop in Salandon for repairs, people start going, I can get with that. Think tropical, think sun, beautiful places of white marble to, lay out. It's expensive, but most of these people did come with some money in their pocket. So people are generally excited. Meanwhile, back in the closet, the storeroom, Grandin and Archie, how do you plan on getting that shoe back?
Well, of course, my first thought is to go grab Betsy.
All right.
I threw her across the room, so.
As it should.
I'm off to find my love.
All right. You find her, neglected, left all alone on the floor.
Used and abused.
I like to think that as you reach for her, in your head, you can kind of almost hear a voice of sadness.
Grandin gives her a little caress across the hammer, like.
Oh, dear.
Okay. Hammer in hand. What do you do next?
I charge across the room, bust the door of the throw the door open of the storeroom, and say, Archie, don't you worry about this. I'll get your mama's tap shoe back.
Okay. Archie, you look inside and you see that electric charge is still kind of like sputtering in the middle of the room and all these metal objects are connected to it. Your poor helpless shoe is being semi-crushed under multiple gears and metal objects, metal bands from crates and stuff. You could see like the front tip of the shoe sticking out as the sides are just kind of being bent. It's probably disheartening.
Nah, my shoe. I just ignore it. There's electric things just running around. I just ignore all that. I got to reach for the shoe.
Okay. Now, you don't actually have a dancing skill, if I remember right. So what would you use to try to athletically go get that shoe?
Well, I do have graceful.
Oh, yeah. Now, graceful, though, is a tag. So maybe, you have jumping. We can use jumping.
Yeah, jumping.
All right. So why don't you use imagine jumping since you just sprung into action?
Two wonderful failures.
Okay. Rocking and rolling. Any tags that could help you, like graceful?
Yeah, graceful.
How would that help you in this case?
Well,
or if you'd like to tell me how you're gracefully going to retrieve your tap shoe.
That's it. I basically gracefully maneuver around any dangers.
So maybe there's like these, strands of like magnetic energy that are like still kind of like wildly going across parts of the room, and you're pulling your graceful dance moves as you kind of spin in the air around them.
Exactly.
Well, that's the plan, at least.
That's the plan, because that failed as well.
All right, so Grandin, you see Archie jump into action, get near his shoe, and then start to sort of like do dance moves in the air as he gleefully evades some of these strange metal pulses of magnetic energy that are flowing towards him. You believe he still has some light metal objects in him, and they're definitely attracted to his shoe. And in one move at which he almost does a front flip, his other shoe, who is on his foot, is connected back to the metal device, and he is being held sideways, horizontally stuck to the magnet in the air and bent at somewhat of an awkward fashion. Luckily, he is graceful, so his foot is keeping him locked into the shoe.
Well, that escalated quickly.
So how does Grandin fix it? With a hammer.
That's precisely what I will do.
Okay.
So Grandin's going to try to sever the electrical current that he
Sure.
so wittingly shoved into the magnet. So he's gonna try and cut the wire.
Very delicately with a hammer.
Now, granted, you have something besides hammering. You have electroforming. Is that what you'd like to use?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I'm not as good at it, but
I think this could either be an imaginative use or a reasonable use, depending on how much urgency you show.
a fair amount of urgency.
Okay, all right.
I sort of know Archie and I'm a little concerned for his well-being.
All right. I'll give you a reason on that, as long as you weren't just like lunging in to fix it. You know, he looks relatively safe, if not uncomfortable.
All right. That is one success.
Okay. Plug. Sorry about that. Plug in the power cord. Let's see. So you had one success?
One success.
Okay. And with that one success, you were able to disengage the magnet, but all of the objects themselves seem to still be tightly connected. Is there a tag you'd like to use to try to continue doing good stuff?
Yeah, Grandin's very handy. So he knows his way around a tool or two. So he starts using Betsy as leverage to start prying things away.
All right.
And that is still a failure.
Okay. So you begin prying tools away. All the while, Archie is looking at you awkwardly sideways. Archie, is there anything you'd like to do?
Archie. Well, he's doing whatever he's doing with that hammer. I guess I'm gonna attempt to pry myself loose.
You can pry yourself with ease if you don't mind slipping out of that shoe.
Okay, that's what I'll do.
All right. With a little bump, you land on the ground. Both shoes entangled in the metal sort of magnetic monstrosity above in the air, but there is no more current that is going through. It just seems like some sort of a charge that's still passively within those metal objects up in the air. Which you do see Grandin kind of diligently working at and picking off object by object. This will take some time. So is there anything the two of you would like to do as this begins to take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour? Hey, we're about to land.
Wow.
Grandin's stubborn, and he told Archie he would get the shoe. So until he's told to stop, he's gonna work at getting both shoes from the pump. Excellent.
Archie, eventually, let's see who was. A drink is sent by. I imagine, I want to say Amelia. Ellen Earhart, a companion, not of yours, but someone you have met in the cantina, per se, earlier, comes to the door holding a tray with a couple drinks. So, Archie, you get those shoes yet? She walks up to you, probably thirsty. She hands you some sort of a cocktail.
Well, thank you, Miss Earhart.
You know, compliments, as always. She looks to Grandin. You're probably thirsty, too. You want something?
Not right now. I'm busy. Blink. Blink. I appreciate it, lovely lady.
Yeah. She waves her hand. All right, whatever you say. And she leaves. He's got sweat coming from his face, and he's not thirsty. Stubborn asshole. She walks out. Door shuts. Meanwhile, Kevin, so Guido has been picking people left and right, catching them off guard, catching them unnoticing, but eventually the people begin to get corralled into their locations, and you find yourself holding this ticket in an envelope. You can open it, you can look at it, and go, whatever you'd like to do.
I'm gonna going to hold on to it for now. I'm going to keep it sealed, and therefore I complete ignorance if it ever is discovered on me while I'm here. I'll open it up later.
Okay.
Yeah, and at this point, I'd probably try to find Ellen. She's my girl on this ship, so
It makes sense.
She could steal me another drink or another bottle.
Yeah, if you don't mind helping her, there's a lot of people who need serviced and a lot of things that are out of place, and she quickly puts you to work, and of course you are able to drink anything you need at the time. So,
sweet.
Okay. The ship has some announcements over the intercom, equivalent of the intercom, the speakers, if you will, and it says that soon you will be landing in Salandin, and of course this is for Guido's entertainment here. The two of you are still diligently working. Well, at least Grandin's diligently working. Archie's just watching. Just trying to get his shoe back. So the ship begins to land. It courses down out of the cloudy sky, well below the clouds, to a tropical paradise that is this grand island. Not gigantic in size, but many large boats can be seen off of the docks of this strong touristy city below. The airship takes a landing, finds a location to sit and park, and everyone is recommended to go take a half day here on the island itself to enjoy, as everything else on the ship is double-checked, securitized, and situated. At this time, Kevin, would you eventually go to check on them, or would you go onto the island?
First I would go see Grandin because he's kind of my ticket onto the ship, and I want to leave, but I want to make sure I can get back on because I don't really have a ticket. So I'm going to go see Grandin and develop a plan to get back on the airship.
Excellent. So you return to the small storage room that you can hear the hammering and the cursing, I imagine, coming from. You probably at this time see Ellen leaving that room after she had just brought them some drinks. And she basically nods to you as she walks by. Yeah, they're still at it. When you walk in the room, you see Archie. Archie, what are you doing after about an hour of watching him remove objects from the ceiling? We could say one of your shoes is now in your possession. That makes sense.
Well, besides Archie is practicing some of his dancing because now he's considering trying to secure a gig at this show, like maybe like during the mid-event shows for some extra money.
Excellent.
So he's trying to figure out how he can get in touch with his agent. He's going to need a phone or something.
Oh, for sure. And given that you're on Salandin, you shouldn't have any trouble contacting him. Just have to make it to a phone.
But I'm not going anywhere until I get my other shoe.
All right. So back to Kevin, to Guido, you're here. Grandin, you just finally dislodged that second shoe. You are covered in sweats. There are many miscellaneous metal objects along the floor. You got the two shoes, and that's really what matters. This is the storage room anyway. It doesn't all have to be fixed. By you, at least. It could be fixed by other people.
I don't care about anything else. Glitter gold's on my mind now. Wonderful glitter gold.
You see the two other characters around you. This seems fitting, but Guido, what do you say to Grandin?
I say, when you two girls are finished kissing, can we figure out a plan to get me back on this ship? I want to go have some fun.
You want to leave the ship?
Yeah, we're in the paradise, man.
We're in paradise, are we? Where are we? I didn't happen to hear.
We're in Salandin.
Hoity-toity pieces of crap in this place.
Now, I would imagine to get off the ship, you like on a cruise, you check in and check off the ship and check back in on the way back.
Certainly. That's funny.
I got my ways off the ship. No problem. It's the getting back on that's concerned.
I happen to know that one of our engineers didn't show up. Pretty sure there's an extra jumpsuit. You could look just like me. I do the whole dusting off of my jumpsuit.
As detestable as that sounds, it is actually a decent plan. But I'm not putting it on now. Do you have a bag I can put it in to change it to later?
I'm sure there's bags somewhere in this mess.
Sure, yeah.
Looks like you. Oh.
And if we need to, we could photocopy my union ID. Have someone forge it. I don't know. Certainly you know some forgers.
I can handle that.
Almost unconscious to Grandin, he is talking about this, and he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out that gear again, that strange gear that he was fascinated with, and he's kind of playing with it in his fingers, spinning it around.
Hey! Focus.
Glitter gold.
I thought you put that gear back.
Oh, this gear? No. Oh, this is the beautiful gear. That was the useful gear.
Again,
they're all the same,
exactly
right? Right, Archie? They're all the same.
The both of you hear him mutter something about glitter gold. Glitter gold is a rare, very vibrant, soft gold that is often basically formed into a harder form. It's a more malleable form of gold, often found underwater. The big part of it is it needs the shifting pressure of the seas to help make it form.
Is our current city that we're in, does that fit that description? Is glitter gold found in this city?
Do you have any strategies that help you know that?
Let's see. You know, I do have a relationship that might help with my tramp organization, like that kind of information, especially about gold, might be transferred amongst.
Oh yeah, I imagine if you get on land, you could probably find yourself a canteen or some other environment bar or place that you can make contacts and find out for sure.
Okay, so I'll relate that to Grant. Granted, hey, glitter gold, I hear you muttering. Let's get off this shit. I'll ask around. We might be able to find some around here.
You did promise me gold. I
did. Have I ever lied to you?
Not that I know of.
Yes.
You do often say you're a good liar, though, so not sure I can trust.
Not to my friends. I never lie to my friends. Never.
Okay, so I don't believe him.
No, I do believe him. I do believe him.
Okay, so the three of you find yourself ashore. Like you said, some of you have to sort of sign the sheets. Guido, you get your bag with outfit in it, and you see many tiki huts, skinnily clad men and women, tropical Hawaiian-like shirts, and it's very warm here. Most people walk around with drinks with little umbrellas in them. Everything is made out of like a white stucco or white marble if it's really fancy.
I'm going to head to the sort of seediest looking one because that's where my people are going to be.
I like you look down the street and you're like, too nice. It's got possibility. It's like they're close to shithole and you're like, oh wait, but that one don't even have a door anymore. That's my place.
Exactly, that's my kind of place. It had a door. There's just a big hole in it.
Yeah. What about you, Archie? What would you look for?
Well, Archie will go any place where there's a phone. I mean, he'll follow Guido if there's a phone on the other side of the hole.
Oh, he's easy. And then, Grandin, are you just kind of following me until you were overdressed for this place? You were already sweating inside. You're kind of thirsty at this point as you refused all those drinks. And
yeah, Grandin's just muttering about how clean and wonderful this place is and how terrible that is. Not his type of place. Just take me to the shittiest place you've ever seen. Please. Please, Guido.
Follow me, Brandon. I got you covered.
Strangely, Guido, your current company seems to enjoy the idea of going to the worst place possible. And the three of you walk past every other tourist anywhere near the street as they walk away from that place.
It's got to have a terrible name, too. Something like Tequila Mockingbird or something.
Well, I guess that's it. That takes the cake. So Tequila Mockingbird is it. And as you walk up to the place, you do see a very large bouncer, bare-chested, rotund, very large-chested. This guy's a barrel, but he's bold and he's a little soft, all around, but he does seem like a big, imposing man. And he points his fat finger at you. Says, "And what do you want here?"
Come to meet Sally. Sally. We go way back.
His finger touches your chest. And maybe Sally doesn't want to speak to you.
Oh, come on. Sally's my uncle. It's Uncle Sal. We go way back. He's not going to review his family.
He looks inside. You can briefly be seen from the people inside as he kind of like points in your direction, and somebody gives him the thumbs up and the okay. I'm
going to turn to them and be like, "Guys, I have no idea who this Sal guy is." Oh, no.
He reluctantly hand waves you in, past him. He eyes the other two as they walk in.
I give him a huge smile.
Thumbs up.
How'd you know looking so good?
Brandon does a salute with Betsy.
Oh, great.
Much obliged.
Yeah. The guy gives you a high eyebrow and continues to stare at Vincent. Obviously, Archie seems to be either too eager, too happy, or too excited. And to this guy, he thinks that's a little crazy. That guy must have something up his sleeve. So the three of you walk inside. Most of the floor is dirt. It's the abrupt ground that was underneath. This place is mostly a pavilion tent that was put up loosely. Though inside it has a lot of decoration as if it's been a long-standing place. There's, wooden walls and stuff that are obviously kind of shanty as they're kind of like hung up tables and chairs. It does look like there's a second pavilion connected, like a back room per se. And there's probably about 6-7 people in this place. Close by, you see a bartender who is eyeing your character, Guido. You have a feeling just by your own instincts that this must be Sally.
All right, you two, you're killing my street creds. Just sit down, try not to make a scene. I'll be right back.
Who's Sally?
Forget about it. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go up to Sally, sit down. Uncle Sal, how are things hanging?
He's balding down the middle. He's got kind of tufts of black hair along the sides. He's got a little bit of a wiry mustache, but some stubble elsewhere. And he's probably in maybe his 50s or early 60s if he looks good for himself. But the wiry man looks over to you. How do you know my name?
You see, I'm in the know. I'm in the connected, the underground, the tramps. We let each other know when somebody can help us out. I've heard your name.
And who are you?
And I take out my name's Guido. Guido, I'm a friend of Vicky's.
What do you want, Guido?
Just a little information.
Your relationship is what with them? Contact, right?
Yeah. An organization, actually. So.
I see. So, what's in it for me, more importantly? What do you want to know, and what can you do for me?
Well, what I really want to know is, see my friend over there that's really hard fitting in socially? The one that's overdressed?
Twirling
a hammer like it's his lover?
Oh, thank you. Because the best part was until then it could have been either of them, just in two different ways. One's like flamboyantly overdressed, you know, and looks out of place. The other one like is overdressed, like you shouldn't wear that much clothes, and looks antisocial. Yeah.
I'm sitting at one of the tables giving somebody a speech on the history of dance.
Now, of course, Archie, you can probably try to see if they have a telephone.
Excellent idea.
You see Guido at the bar, and he's talking to some guy behind the bar.
Well, that's who I need to talk to.
All right. So Guido, as you're talking, Archie walks up, and he's standing next to you at the bar. Go ahead and finish what you were saying.
Yeah, just
that guy.
You got a public phone in this place?
Sorry, that actually happened better than I could have put it together.
I need to call my agent.
Archie, not now.
Agent, huh?
Yeah.
His one of his eyebrows opens up, and Guido, you know this look completely. This is the like, oh, there's money to be made here, you know.
Sal, this is my friend Archie Twickletoes Less. He's quite the dancer.
Is that so?
And by dancer, I mean dancer.
You pique his interest a little bit. Does he take his shirt off?
Oh, that's the kind of dancer he is. I'd say if you help us out, you'll get him for one night. You get all the profits.
All right, so at this point, we definitely need some kind of conversational check. Do you have any strategies that would help you convince someone of making the deal or something?
Not really. I mean, no, I don't.
Okay, anything to be a stretch. Let's see.
Maybe.
Oh, you're right. You it's tough for you. You got sleight of hand, hiding, and ocarina. Okay.
Yeah, I guess a stretch would be hiding, because I'm hiding the fact that we plan to be long gone from here before he ever.
You could also play the ocarina and let Archie could start dancing.
That's not.
Oh, yeah, that's a hell of an idea.
All right, Archie, how about a little demonstration for Sally here? I'll play a little bit and just do some dancing.
Not a problem.
Hey, it's a little hot. You might want to take your shirt off because it's real hot in here.
Sure. It's like one of those weird auditions. I swore I would never do that again.
You know the business, man. You know the business.
Archie, it's fair if you need your agent first.
Well, this guy, he's getting me a job. I'm gonna have to replace my agent.
All right, let's get that ocarina plan. Let's see if we need it.
So is it Imagine and?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
You've probably never played it to like have someone like strip to it or something. You know?
I have one success. I'm gonna see if I can't use my tag aloof, because I'm just going with it. It's all cool. It'll all work out. It's fun.
Sure, yeah. You're just like, I don't know. You see the glare of your ocarina and the reflection on the bar. You go, maybe if I play a song for them.
Nope, that was a failure too. So I ended up with one success.
All right, so you get one success. You started playing. So Archie, tell me about how you do you seductively take off your shirt, or are you just like, oh, okay, you throw your shirt off and you start.
Nothing seductive at all. I just pull over my shirt, and I start to one of my practice numbers. Most of them involve a lot of jumping. Mr. Bojangles.
And I'm imagining it doesn't match the music at all.
Well, the good news is Guido is pleasantly entertained, at least, that he's distracted by everything that's going on. In that time, Guido, what information do you want to get out of him?
I want to know if there's either somewhere that houses glitter gold that we can knock over, or is it produced here at all? Maybe we could go visit the warehouse.
Well, there's this woman around. She's some kind of pilot or a racer for one of those airships. She goes by the name of Mercedes. I've heard that she's been looking for this glitter gold as well. She's been asking around, so I think she's found it, actually. I think and he's talking to you kind of nonchalant out of the side as he's just watching Archie dance. Yeah, maybe if you find her, I do know she found at least a diver or something, so you could probably walk the beaches. There's an arch, about a mile down the shore. It points in a direction. I bet you she's out there. They're probably trying to find some below the seas already as we speak.
Thanks, Sal. No, how about Twinkle Toes over here? Beautiful, right?
I've seen better. But he doesn't turn away. Archie, you realize that you've drawn all of the attention in the bar, and there was no entertainment before, so you are pleasantly entertaining everyone inside now. The phone has conveniently been put on the counter at any time at which you want to go use it. Grandin, I'd like to know real quick with Grandin, how does your character take all of this going on?
He is very longingly just kind of twirling the gear.
Okay.
Not paying attention. He has grabbed a glass of water and is sipping it as he twirls the gear.
There's a candle at your table, and if you hold the gear in the right sequence with the water and the glass and the candle, you can almost see the gear itself glitter. And I can imagine you playing with the three, trying to imagine what it will look like.
Precisely.
Okay, so Archie, telephone call?
Yeah, when I notice the phone, I do exactly that. I look at this guy Sal. I nod my head like, "This is enough, right?" And I walk over to the phone.
He nods his head. He begins pouring a couple drinks. You assume one's for you, for the show at least. That's pretty standard. So.
Okay.
Guido, you get a drink.
Remember the number.
Guido, you get a drink put in front of you that's something reminiscent of a shot that's black as octopus ink, and you have no idea if it's of code, let alone healthy or desirable, but it's put in front of you. So
I'm throwing that down just like it's nothing.
Archie, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I am forgetful, so now I'm standing here trying to remember my agent's number. Now I have the phone. I can't remember the number.
So conveniently, Guido, you see him just staring at the phone itself. It's an old sort of rotary dial thing, and he's just staring at it, kind of like about to push in his finger, and then he pulls it away. About 90 seconds goes by, then another minute. He still hasn't touched the numbers while he's holding the receiver to his ear, and he at this point looks befuddled.
Archie, what are you doing?
I can't remember my agent's number.
You don't need an agent. I could be your agent. I'm getting you a job now.
Really?
Yeah, so tell him.
I put the phone down.
Okay, you put the phone down. What happens next?
Sal, tell him. You're ready to hire this guy, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. Does he do anything else? Can he dance in his hands or something? Or?
Can he do anything else? This is the world famous Archie Twinkle Toes Less. But he don't give a free show anymore. You see, you've got just the beginnings. You'll see when it comes to the actual show. You'll see.
It's going to be here?
Yeah, it'll be here. The place will be packed. Look at it. Look at all this empty space. Beautiful now. When you'll see wall-to-wall, scantily clad woman. I'm here to have a good time.
His hand kind of raises like, no. Actually, I was hoping that we could, he holds up an outfit behind him that he lifts up. I need him to wear this and spin this sign around outside.
It's a job, ain't it?
But if he wants to take that shirt off occasionally, that'd probably help too. I hear the women, they like that, so.
He'll knock it out of the park. He'll be inside here within a week.
I got into Airship to get away from jobs like this.
Archie, whether you take the job or not, you are conveniently handed some amazingly ridiculous jumpsuit that also has a sign for you to hold that talks about, like, what was it? The Tequila Mockingbird. So
you can put that in my bag if you want.
Yeah. Okay. What would the three of you like to do next?
Let's go track down Mercedes.
Okay. Grandin, anything you'd like to do?
I just want to find out what Giuseppe found out.
Okay. So the three of you leave. Guido, why don't you fill in Grandin on what you want him to know?
All right. We're going to take a
Meanwhile, of course, Archie has this outfit that he's kind of looking at and then maybe putting in the bag. I don't know.
All right. We need to go down and take a nice walk on the beach. We're going to meet some beautiful girl named Mercedes. She knows a lot about the glitter gold. Forget about it. It's good. Let's go.
Mercedes. I've always heard about some Ferrari driver named Mercedes. She's quite a famous woman.
Yeah, I think that's the one. You know what she looks like?
Oh, do I?
Your job's to point her out.
Poster of her on my wall in the airship.
And like, all right, you're in charge of spotting her out. I'm going to turn to Archie. See, Archie, I already got your job. Took me 30 seconds. Got you a job. You don't need no agent. I could be your agent.
Fancy pants. I love your monkey suit.
I hand Guido the uniform. All right, whatever. So, when is it going to be? Later tonight or what? What's going on?
We ain't ever going to that dump again. I was just showing you I can get you a job. That's all.
So we're leaving?
We are. We need to go check out Mercedes.
Archie, you ever get a hold of your agent?
No.
Well, why?
I don't even know. Some things happened. I was going to call, and then I was dancing.
Huh. I didn't even notice you were dancing. Sorry.
Yeah.
I pull out the gear. This gear is enchanting.
Still got 9 teeth on there or what?
15 beautiful teeth. Just like Mercedes.
She's only got 15 teeth. I don't know what kind of woman you're fucking. I like myself a little more than 15.
Okay, so as you guys basically walk into the sunset for this scene, yeah, eventually the three of you are walking along the sand. If any of you wanted to, you could have grabbed a drink. I don't know if anyone was parched. You're probably all sweating some at this point if you haven't dressed and if you haven't gotten to lighter clothes. And you walk the beach for a while and you see people enjoying the beach. There's people in the water, there's people making sand castles, there's people with little, like umbrellas, and they're laying out, sun tanning and so on. As you continue, you can see many different kind of interesting forms, as this is a tropical island. Some of the sandbars that kind of go across and the palm trees and such. About an hour goes by and most of the beach is kind of ended. Most of the people have kind of disappeared as you're starting to get further away. The jungle itself is kind of thickening. And you can see in the distance that there's an arch, like a big sort of like arch of land. They kind of like the bottom end stick into the water and have like a little bit of like a sort of cove there. Along the way, you also notice that there seems to be a small vessel that is out there kind of by this arch. It looks like it could be an airship, but it is basically laying in the water, just barely hovering above it at best. So you see quite a few people on the ship and a few people on the shore nearby. And that's kind of what you're walking towards.
Well, the first thing I do a face palm, and I realize I left my shirt at the bar.
You've got the monkey suit.
Yeah, you do have the monkey suit if you get cold. As the three of you are approaching, you can tell that somebody on shore is basically looking around with some kind of a monocle or some kind of, in this case, like a elongated glass, a spyglass. And he does see you coming eventually, long before you do, and begins walking your direction. The person looks scantily clad, looks like a swim trunks, some kind of like not bandolier, but some kind of a sash tied over the top, and he's got a thin sort of like a straw hat, but more modern style, not like the old school, but it's just something blocking the sun a bit. Relatively tanned and well fit, and he kind of like not really hops on the sand towards you, but like he's kind of jogging towards you. As he gets closer and closer, you realize that not only does he have that spyglass, but he has some kind of a short, small, metallic object in his other hand. And it doesn't take long to realize that it might be some kind of a blade or a knife. Mm-hmm. And you realize that your welcome does seem kind of strange, that one lone strange man is running towards you with a short blade or a long knife.
Brandon, go hit that guy with your hammer.
Is this what we're looking for?
No, it's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a lady. Not some psychopath with a knife.
Mercedes is not the most lady-like woman, but this is not Mercedes.
And he's like 100 feet away, and then he's like 80 feet away. He's like 50 feet away.
You guys take care of this, and I'll go around.
Awesome. Guido, what do you do?
I actually am. I'm going to start like wandering away from the other two to see if he's like coming specifically at one of us.
Sure. That's really funny. Okay. So, just to make fun out of it, this will be a challenge. We'll make it a small challenge here. The strange running man with the knife. We have a mind of 4, a body of 5, 4. We'll say 4 because there's 3 of you, so there's some disadvantage in my ratings here for him. He's definitely like less of a challenge. His spirit is, we're just going to make him pretty even kilter across the board. But 3 tags, he's got a scary knife. And he's got, I said scary knife. We're going to say maniac because you guys really have no idea what his intentions are. And let's see, the third thing is probably, we're going to say the ship behind, we'll say the crew, right? There's other people, the crew. So you don't know how they're going to react. So that obviously limits some of your choices. So Kevin, you mentioned you're going to get out of the way and kind of try to see which one person he might be most interested in.
I might have slept with his wife. I don't know.
Yeah. What strategy would help you kind of like remove yourself from the situation and see if
hiding? I have hiding. So
all right.
Essentially part of what I'm trying to do.
Now, are you actually hiding, or are you just putting space between you? So that's a magic.
I'm just putting this space. Yeah. What am I hiding? I got 1 success.
Okay.
No, wait, no, I got 2 successes. It's the other way around. Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to hold Maniac against you in the way that you really have no idea who this guy is or why he's coming at you with a knife and no clothing, otherwise, nothing of note. So it's really hard to gauge what his intentions are when he just looks unpredictable.
Got it. And I failed that reroll.
Okay. Did you fail both or one?
Oh, I have to reroll both dice?
You do, yeah.
Okay. My bad. Yep.
Amping up the
now
tension.
I have 1.
Okay.
I have 1 success again.
Any text would help you.
Let's see. Not really.
Yeah, the individual, when you start to break off, of course looks in your direction. You can't quite make out his eyes because the hat kind of blocks them. But you can tell that his body, like his head turns in your direction and watches you as you move away. And then slowly goes back. And then sharply darts back. Okay, this sounds like something that you're trying to learn. So it's probably mind. It could be spirit, though. Do you have a preference?
I'd rather take it in spirit.
All right, you're manipulating and we're trying to figure out, yeah. Okay, you said it's one of each, right?
Yes.
All right, so we both take 1 damage. Okay. And then on to Grandin. What does Grandin do?
Grandin takes
Weird, strange maniac.
And holds it in the air and kind of waves it. He's not being intimidating about it. He's actually like being friendly and waving at the guy, but holding Betsy at the same time. Hey there, guy. What you doing?
That sounds like you're targeting a spirit. What strategy do you think would help you with this?
I mean, hammering, because
All right.
I've got a hammer.
Probably imagine hammering. Yeah.
And that is a double success. 2 successes.
Okay, wow, great. So you call out, you do that. Man, I'm gonna say that he's got a scary knife, and the reason why that's important is you aren't a person who's used to being assaulted by some weird guy with a knife, like a bladed object that's coming at you. So while you're doing that, you have the protection of Betsy with you. If the guy doesn't say anything right away, you're like, I don't even know what you are. Are you human? You seem like some crazy, horrible death zombie coming at me right now. So reroll your successes and let's see how you do.
All right. 2 failures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any tags you have that would help you? You're trying to like steel yourself, not fall for being punked out if that's the case, or being emboldened, or
yeah, maybe stubborn might help.
That sounds fair.
Yeah.
Stubborn person probably sticks to their guns longer, right?
I'm just trying to be friendly and wave the guy down.
Okay. Go ahead and reroll one of your dice.
Fail.
Okay. And you take 2 damage, and we said spirit, right? So you take 2 spirit.
Yeah. And
we say that we can give you a tag. So let me pull up your sheet real quick. We have, what tags do you have?
I have stubborn, really ugly, and handy.
Sorry, really ugly is just so fun. Okay. So, and you have obsessed and desperate, right?
Yep.
Now, were those both negative tags?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it looks like the only thing we could cover up would be handy. Oh, actually, since we kind of modded the rules while we played, where do you want to place obsessed and desperate?
Well, I guess I couldn't have re-rolled stubborn, so yeah.
That's okay, but that we didn't know ahead of time, so.
Yep.
Are you happy with their placement, or do you want to move them?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna give you another thing, and we're gonna say, let's see. This guy is probably messing with you. You're heated. You're exhausted. You're probably a little loopy. I like that. You're loopy.
Loopy.
Mm-hmm. It's all just starting to get to you. So I think that you have obsessed, desperate, and loopy. It's pretty great. Okay. Awesome. And then Vincent. So this guy's he's almost up to the 3 with the other 2. One guy has kind of left you hanging. You don't know where he went, but you look when you're like, he's surrounded. You couldn't have gone that far. And then you see Grandin holding his hammer up in the air, like, hello, friend. And the man's still kind of jogging towards the 3 of you, barefooted with this strange, kind of a shiv-like blade, but long, coming towards the 3 of you. He's pretty fit, average, but he's probably like 5'5". He's not overly large or anything.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to use my making speeches to tell him something his mother should have told him and admonish him for running around with sharp objects.
Okay.
Double ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
The beauty of that. So, what's the target first of all?
That would be spirit.
Okay, so it doesn't matter because if you get a critical success or a perfect success, right, you do double damage. So 2 successes would be 2 damage. A double obviously would be 4. So since we said right off the bat that this was a 4-4-4, no matter where you would have hit him, you would have finished it. So tell me what you say to the guy, and remember this can kind of go the way you want it to because it's what would be the best thing that happened right now by admonishing him.
Well, the best thing that would happen, he actually would apologize and put the thing down.
What would he apologize for?
For running around with a knife, coming at people with knives. Very dangerous. I mean,
So okay,
someone's eye.
So all right. So the guy runs towards you, and you start telling him these things. And he starts slowing down, and he looks at the knife, and he lifts up his hat a little bit. Says, "I'm sorry, man. I just, you're right. I probably shouldn't do that." He sticks it in his shorts, and stops. He goes, "I'm really sorry. That probably looked really bad."
Yeah.
He takes a deep breath. He looks at Grandin because he doesn't really see. He lost track of Guido. So what are you two doing here? You shouldn't be here at all. Did you come here to try to take our things? We came here for the glitter gold, and it's not yours. It's ours. We were here first.
No, not at all. We came here to talk to Mercedes.
Yeah, we came here for glitter gold.
What?
Absolutely.
Can I try to steal his knife while he's talking to me?
Of course. Go ahead and roll. Imagine. And then Archie, you say that, and he goes, "Oh, are you one of them? Another one of the people who came for an autograph?" As Grandin says what he says.
And I have 2 successes.
Oh, awesome. You snatch his blade. He goes to his side. He goes, "Well, I have something to say about that." And then when he goes to reach for his shiv that's no longer in his pants, he looks down unwittingly, looks back up. "How did you do that?" He does a full 360 spin. Go ahead. Sorry.
So when I take it, can I cut his shorts as I take it?
Definitely. So he reaches for them. When he reaches for it, he realizes that, in fact, he's reaching for his shiv, but his shorts aren't even there. As he then begins to spin and realizes, wait, and he says his drawers have dropped and they're just laying on the ground. Shocked, embarrassed, and abhorred, he stares at the two of you and he looks around. What? Who? How?
Oh, just take us to Mercedes.
Yeah, let's go, boys.
Did the 3 of you want to do anything or say? I mean, it's like you have advantage or surprise or whatever you want on this guy. Like he's befuddled at this moment.
I've got a nice little suit you can wear. If you promise to take us to see Mercedes.
Okay. What did the other 2 of you do when he says that?
So just so I have imagery here, is the guy standing there just like stark naked at this point?
He's got a hat, which he quickly grabs and puts over his junk.
Okay. Well, Grandin takes Betsy and flips the hat away. And says, "If you want to keep that covered, you might want to take up his offer."
So one of us is smack him on the ass for good measure at this point.
And Archie, do you do anything when this happens?
No, because Archie honestly doesn't know why he's here. Autograph. Are we here for autograph?
Are we here for an autograph?
Why we're here.
Okay, so go ahead. You, the three of you, give him the outfit, which he quickly puts on.
Which is
And
let's make him hold the sign too.
He looks at you. He's like, "Are you kidding me? I gotta hold this?
Yeah, it's part of the uniform.
Oh man!" He's just walking. He's got it like under his arm. I'm sure one of you nudges him.
No, yeah, you got to show the sign.
The four of you come back up towards the shore, where you can see that actually when you get up close, there's like some planks that have been put out to kind of help you walk towards the cove. It's a little unbalanced, but if you have the time, it's not that hard to walk across to kind of get you back where obviously some people are diving and not too far from the boat. As you get that close, you can see there are some other people on the boat, and a couple of them are pointing and laughing as you're coming up, which you can only assume is at the young man that you have dressed as a monkey.
Don't mind them. I can teach you some dance moves.
He's like covering his
Then
face.
they won't laugh anymore.
He looks.
I'm gonna need this suit back, man.
This is so embarrassing. He face palms. As you get closer, there's a few people on the ship. One of you goes, "Hey, what did you do to him?" Someone else is like, "Yeah, why does he look like a monkey?" They all have drinks in their hands, and they all seem way too excited and happy about the situation. So you think they're all a little lit.
Yeah, I'm gonna poke him a little with the scary knife. Say, "Dance, monkey, dance."
What I like here is that, Archie, why don't you give me a roll of how you were trying to explain to him how to dance, and let's see if you actually helped him any.
Double failure.
All right. So the guy is kind of doing his own monkey dance, which is just really a lot of like ooh, ah, ah, ah. It's very uninspired. It should be embarrassing. He just doesn't know how to dance at all. And as you poke him some more, he kind of like switches into like a little bit of like a bump and grind, but it looks pretty ridiculous because he's got nothing. He's only got the sign he's holding, so he's just kind of like dancing with the sign. They all start laughing, ridiculously so, on the boat. You now know for sure that you have your moment. If there's anything you'd like to do other than just continue talking to them. You can tell that by the cove itself, there's some equipment that's kind of lined up. It looks like maybe ropes and stakes, something equivalent to that. They definitely have some lines that are submerged. You don't know if that would be, would any of you have any knowledge of underwater diving?
Not at all.
Okay. Yeah, so
I think you would be able I'd be able to distinguish between like an airline and a rope. You know what I mean? Like,
sure, yeah. I think actually Grandy would be the guy for this. I think Grandy, you probably have. Oh, it'd be hammering. Why don't you roll imagine hammering to see how much you know about the tools?
Okay.
Playing off your sort of engineer background or tinkerer background.
2 failures.
Okay, so yeah, you have no idea about. You just see some stakes and ropes, which give you the idea that maybe something's down there. You really have no idea, other than that glitter gold comes out of rock, how or where it comes from, and for whatever reason he's explained to you, that there may be some people over here diving for glitter gold. You have just put together. You're like, wait, they're diving for it. How are they supposed to get it if it's in rock? Oh. Have to dig it out from underneath the ground underwater? So this is all kind of coming to you as you're just standing there kind of oblivious to what's going on.
I bet Betsy would really, really shine in a moment like that.
She might rust underwater, man.
Yeah. Oh.
Stainless steel, fool.
Didn't mean to insult your friend there.
Archie, this guy's dancing is horrible.
I just want to stop. Come on. Stop it.
Show them how it's done.
You're making me feel bad.
Are you going to show them how? Yeah.
You know, some people can be taught, and some people just have absolutely no talent. That's all. What are you gonna do?
He looks at you. He's like, man, I didn't want to dress up as no monkey. I'm not a dancer. What do you expect of me?
What are you then?
He walks over to you. He gives you a little shove. I'm a fighter. I hurt people. And you find he starts kind of like doing that little like tough like teenage push fight. And he's trying to push you, and if he continues, he will shove you into the water.
I mean, Grannon takes Betsy and shoves it against his chest.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah. All right. Yeah. And when he puts his hand, he's like, come on. I don't even have a knife.
Cool it, tough guy.
The three of you, you can see some people laughing on deck. You don't know where Mercedes is. What would you like to do?
Can I look at like all these lines, ropes, whatever?
Yeah.
Maybe something will speak to me in the sense that this is a retrieval line or something like that, or
Sure.
is there weights involved, or I just want to inspect them.
You go over by the lines. You have enough time that people on the ship are distracted and entertaining simultaneously. So you walk over there. You can tell that the lines have tension. They are staked, and they're obviously either meant to pull on, but they do seem tight. So you don't know if there's a weight. There's obviously weight. You don't know if you could really even pull it up if you wanted to. You'd have to try to see. It's pretty heavy.
I'm gonna. What time of day is it anyway? Is it middle of the day? Is it nighttime? Where are we at?
It's probably about like 4 o'clock, but sunset probably goes down pretty late. So you probably still have quite a few hours of sun.
I'm just going to give it a little test pull to see if I could.
Okay, you do think that with given enough time and energy, you could. Depending on how deep it is, you might need help because you might get tired.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you're thinking when you start pulling it, it feels like it's like 80 pounds. And it's at the end of a rope, and you don't know how deep it is. So
what time is the airship taking back on?
They said they're going to take a half day. So it's probably only been a couple hours. So they're probably thinking they're going to leave like around dusk or something. So you probably have to go about, let's say 7, just to give you a firm time.
Okay. Well, boys, what do you think? You want to see if we can find out where Mercedes is?
Well, isn't that why we're here?
Well,
Maybe Monkey Man can tell us.
She's diving. She's going to inspect the glitter gold. It's important for her air rider.
You mean her Ferrari 440?
Thank you. I was just going to say, you could totally correct him if you want to. That was awesome. What did you call it?
The Ferrari 440.
That's right. The Ferrari 440. Yeah, that's what she said, except for this. She said this is the new and improved. She's calling it the 450.
450?
Yeah, something about some...
Get my eyes on that.
Something about some glitter gold gear placement and manipulating the speed, multiple gears and size of 1. I don't know.
Listen, you got to get me in touch with Mercedes. This is dire importance. Pull out the gear. She'll love this thing. You,
meanwhile, Grandin, in your head, when he says this, you feel like that sort of connectedness that you find when you have the thought of meeting someone like-minded. You're like, what a brilliant idea. That's exactly what I was thinking about doing. That's amazing gear, but she's going to use it for an airship racer. What a novel idea. It would save space and save weight. So anyway, it kind of blows your mind. If you really have any sort of a fandom for her, you're like, oh my God, her and I were like the same person.
Oh yeah, Brandon's melting.
All right. Well, she's diving.
Well, how do you get her?
I don't get her. She comes up.
Just go get her.
I don't have any equipment. How am I supposed to get? I can't hold my breath.
Hey, how about we pull on some of these lines?
How long is she gonna be down there?
Well, I mean, the tank's only good for a couple hours, but
Give me a drink then.
I'm gonna start like stepping on any lines that I see they're leading into the water.
No, you'll hurt her. You're gonna hurt her.
Just for a second. Just for a second. Just have to come check out. You know, if there's a problem.
So go ahead and it doesn't matter about you stepping on them. God, I know that's pretty funny. Okay, so you're stepping on the lines. When you step on the first couple, no big deal, but there's probably about 4 of them. When you step on the third one, you feel like it actually stopped the line from moving. It's weird. It's just like a little acknowledgement. You lift your foot up, and you feel that you can see that it's kind of sliding. You know, so something's actually being reeled up.
Oh.
And it makes you realize that the line, while staked, is actually looped on the other side. So it's some kind of almost like a pulley, like it's going around.
What kind of line is it? Like, what's it made out of?
It seems like something similar to like more like a fishing wire. We should just say wire. It's thicker than that, though. Okay. So it's not like a hardened rope. It's some kind of a wire or cabling, but nothing too sophisticated.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on that.
Okay. All right, and then Archie, the monkey boy, you know, basically, all right, throw over the deck. The people on the ship, they throw the board down, and he climbs up there. You feel obviously if they're just laughing at him, they're not going to stop you from getting on the ship if you want to. Brandon, same for you. You feel like at this point, okay, well, they're all laughing at him, and they put the deck down, so you don't think they're going to really try to stop you.
Monkey boy, where will Mercedes come up when she does?
He turns around. He's like, over by your friend.
I go over there.
Okay, and then Archie, he takes you over to a bar that's basically on deck. There's just like a part that like around the back part of the ship that like kind of dips in, and it's got a little bit of a hood that covers it, and there's an actual bar there with a whole bunch of drinks. And obviously somebody had been playing bartender because there's all kinds of shot glasses that are laying around. There's only a few bottles. It looks like there's not a wide selection, but he looks at you. So what you want? He looks at this. We got muckrats, oil of the centipede. Ah, yes. He lifts this one up. Steak Scream.
Steak Scream?
Yeah, it looks like something like Jägermeister.
Let's try that.
Okay. He shakes it. He pours it into a shot, and then he puts his hand over like you're not allowed to drink it yet, and he reaches over for a mug, and he gives you a beer. So you make some kind of a chaser drink.
Okay. That'll work.
He hands it to you. He seems to watch with enthusiasm, though.
Well, I watch him watch me.
Yes.
Gonna drink it.
Okay. When you drink you basically take the shot, you drop it in the thing, you start chugging it down, and it tastes like steak. But as you finish drinking it all down, there's a foaming that just wants to come up. So you have to start spitting out this foam or wiping it out of your face. When you do, it makes you let out a burping noise that can only be replicated by a scream, because it's this loud, like piercing, like, which of course draws attention from the 2 people on the shore. Given that Kevin de Guido is the bar room aficionado, you do hear a scream that sounds somewhat like Archie, but you do believe that also could have been Steak Scream. Granson, though, unfortunately has no idea, and he thinks his friend just screamed on the back of the ship.
I see his concern. Brandon, don't worry. I think he's just drinking.
God, what he's drinking?
It's called the Steak Scream. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
I like steak.
I'll buy you one when we get back on the ship.
At your feet, a little pail which is it looks actually a lot like a clamshell, but like as if it's firmly positioned open, is coming up, and it has a lot of like sort of rocks in it. And in the rocks, you can see the glitter of gold. Not all of it, but in some of it. So obviously, it's something that might need to be sifted.
Let's start sifting.
Okay. Are you just trying to pull out the gold pieces?
Yeah, I think that's my artful plan right now.
Grandin, you see him reach down as soon as this sort of like hand clam comes out, and he just starts pushing aside the rocks and grabbing the gold pieces. And where are you putting them?
My myriad of pockets that I have.
Yeah, you just stick it in your
a lot of
pockets.
hidden pockets.
Glitter gold.
God, I promised you glitter gold. Do I deliver or do I not deliver?
Yeah, so Grandin's on his hands and knees now at the pail too, also picking out things and taking large chunks of whatever's in there and grabbing Betsy and smashing them and hoping more glitter.
I like that you're smashing him like on site. Like you're like on unstable ground, kind of by this rocky area. You're like, let's just figure this out now. He's like stashing all these little pieces. All right. So go ahead and make an imagine hammering just to make sure that you don't do
hit my
something
hand. Don't
disastrous.
hit my hand.
One success.
Okay. Any tags that'll help you? Actually, would any of those negative tags help you?
Well, I also have Smashy from Betsy.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Though I don't know if you want to be too smashy.
That's what I do.
All right, go and use it.
That's a success.
All right, so you're smashing. What do you hope to find?
More gold, larger pieces of glitter gold.
Okay, so he's kind of going through the little pieces, and you grab like a bigger chunk and smash it, and you do find that you find a good sized nugget of glitter gold inside.
I take the larger nugget and squish it between my fingers and then bite it.
It seems quite malleable right now. So it's funny when you shatter sort of the rock around it, it seems quite soft and kind of smashes around the hammer. You from what you know of the substance, there's a way to harden it and there's a way to soften it. And you imagine maybe in its natural state, it's kind of soft.
This is glorious. I need more.
Okay. And Guido, you basically you see him smash this rock, and he comes up with this large, it's almost like glob, soft, like Play-Doh kind of form of gold and glitter. And he looks at it, he's like, I need more of this. And as that happens, you see him immediately look down, and granted, something grabs at your leg, and the last thing you know is the splash of water as you just get grabbed and pulled right into the water below you.
Great.
So you see him look down, you follow his eyes, and you see a human hand around his ankle. And then he basically goes, splash, as he gets pulled down. You can see that the person who pulled him down is obviously in some sort of equivalent of a scuba suit, right? A little more primitive, crude. These, we have airships and stuff. These they have tanks on their back, but it looks more like a hose around the front and like a sort of goggle one piece, like sort of the older thing. The person looks like otherwise largely like in a swimsuit, like a bodysuit kind of thing. But the arm that grabbed was obviously a male arm and quite muscular.
And he's gone now? He's like completely underwater?
No, he's actually at the top. He's splashed. You can see him right there. He's kind of like, I don't know if, granted, would you be flailing your arms or what would you do? I don't even know if you know how to swim.
Yeah, I would be doing what Grandin always does, and using Betsy as some sort of leverage.
Excellent. So yeah, what you see is him flailing his hammer at the rocky side, stopping you from any chance of actually reaching for him unless you want to get hammered. And then there's the splashing of water as obviously he's kind of fighting to go up, but being held underneath the water. It just happened though. It's like seconds,
I'm gonna actually take that clam pail thing, and I'm gonna throw it back in the water as far as I can.
Okay.
No.
What strategy would help you with that? Assuming that you want to hurt him, or are you trying to like? You think maybe if you push it down, maybe he's connected or something?
No, I'm trying to just. Obviously, they're trying to stop us from stealing their stuff. So I'm going to throw it away from us as far as they can. So they want to go retrieve it rather than then come after us.
Okay, that sounds like
a sleight of hand, I guess. I mean,
yeah, that sounds good. Probably imagine sleight of hand. It could either be targeting spirit or mind because it sounds like this is probably a challenge.
And I have 2 successes.
Okay. Do you like spirit or mind? Are you outsmarting them or are you trying to manipulate them?
I think. Well, actually, I'm trying to manipulate.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. So whipping up a quick challenge. There are the underwater duo is what we have right now. The underwater duo have a mind of 5, and they have a body of 6, thanks to Mr. Beefy right here. They have a spirit of 6, and let's see, we have 3 tags for them. They have water suits. I'm just going to put suits. And they have swimming, we'll put, because not only do they have suits, but they do have swimming. That might be a problem for you folks. And maybe surprise, because unless you're fighting them in the water, you may not know where they're coming from. Okay, so you were trying to throw the stuff away. You said 2 successes?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think they have suit swimming surprise. I think you surprised them. So I don't think I could really hold that against you. Now, what negative tags do you have of your own?
Overconfident.
Yes, they are. Overconfident. Okay, let's see. Now, if I have to think too much about it now. You're like, hey, it's a great idea. Okay, so you get 2 successes. It's against the spirit, so it breaks that down to 4. And it can target their suits, swimming, or the element of surprise.
Let's take away that element of surprise. I think we've reversed that on there.
And of course, I should mention you could add another tag if you wanted, if you thought something might help your friends. Instead of taking away surprise, so it's one or the other. But
I'd rather take away surprise.
You got it. You got it. Okay. All right. So Archie, you let out this fierce burp. You come around the side. If you maybe have a beer in hand or another drink if you like. You see the people on the top deck of the ship. They start like laughing, like, you know, kind of like, can you believe what just happened? And they're pointing over the side of the ship. And when you get to the side of the ship, you see that Grandin is kind of flailing a hammer barely above the water. And you see Guido disperse a whole bunch of rocks.
How far is it from the deck to the water?
It's probably like 20 feet, but I mean like more of a dive. Like it's not like 20 feet away. Well, it's probably like, maybe it's 20 feet away and like, you know, 15 feet down. But that's not too far if you were going to like dive if you wanted to.
And that's what I do.
I thought you might. You have jumping, so we can say imagine jumping.
Yes.
What do you want to do by diving, though? Do you want to dive for the medals? Do you want to dive for Grandin? Do you want to dive to scare them?
Well, I'm coming to Grandin's aid.
Okay.
It's 1 success.
Okay. And suit swimming. I'm going to say, I don't know if you know how to swim. Do you know how to swim?
I don't have anything specific. No, not really.
Sorry, that's so fitting. You're like, wait,
I forgot.
you forgot. You're like, I saw this guy dive in the water one time. That'd be a great idea. Oh shit, I don't know how to swim. Okay, reroll your successes and tell me how you did. I think you had 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so reroll the 1 and see how you did.
It's still a success.
Oh, still success. Great. Do you have any tags you want to use to help you with that other die?
Let's go with graceful.
Better graceful than knowledgeable.
I'm imitating all those shows I've seen, these sports shows.
Yeah.
And it's still a failure.
Okay, so you got 1 and 1. So you were trying to help Grandin, so that's probably body.
Mm-hmm.
Unless do you have a different target in mind? Are you?
No, the body makes sense.
All right, so you both take 1 point of body. It makes sense. You still hit the water hard. You're like, hey, I didn't know it was supposed to hurt if you hit the water. And Grandin, you have been slightly submerged. You got your hammer flailing. You didn't know you could see underwater, but you do realize it when you hear a sploosh underwater and you look ahead of you, and you see, surprisingly, the shirtless Archie hit the water. He kind of descends below you though, because obviously he dived very well, so he just keeps going. And what do you want to do? You mentioned hammering, but is that what you'd like to do with your action?
So at this point, I'm sure it's been a few seconds.
Yeah, it's been like 5-10 seconds, maybe 15 seconds. Yeah.
The guy's hand is still on my ankle. Yeah,
actually, he's got 2 hands, both on you at this point. You're held basically about 1 foot or 2 underwater. You will be pulled down further if you don't somehow succeed. But
yeah, so at this point, I give up trying to grab hold from up above the water, and bring Betsy like stabbing downwards, because I see this glass globe over his head.
Yes,
I'm going to crack that glass.
Awesome. You smashy.
I'm smashy. He's trying to drown me.
Go ahead and roll. Let's see how you do. It's obvious. Well, I don't know. It's imagine only because of the situation. Yeah.
All right. 1 success.
Okay. Any tags that would help you? The suits and the swimming, I don't think you're going to help them right now.
I mean, there's always smashy.
Yeah, go for it. You don't even need an explanation, right? I just start pounding on the glass.
It's still a failure.
Okay. Well, it makes sense too that you're pounding on the glass. You're like, why doesn't it move as fast as I want it to? Dink, dink.
Yeah.
I really wish that Guido was underwater, just so you can see, Archie just kept going. Grandin's like hammering on the glasses. He's descending slowly, like going down. All right. So you both take 1 point. That was probably body, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you both take a point to your body. And back to the top. Guido, you dispersed some, the contents of that shell. It doesn't seem to have had any major effect. You still see Grandin descending. Since you're dispersing, you saw someone jump off the boat into the water. You caught a glimpse of a shirtless man that you assumed was Archie. Both of your friends are now under the water. You can see them, but you're starting to realize how deep the water is too. That you can kind of see them, which they're not super deep. It's just the water gets dark pretty quick. So,
I look at it though. I see them in trouble. I do know the last thing I did sort of worked. I mean, it sort of took away this element of surprise. And
yeah,
it was it's an idea in the right place. So I want to divert attention again. So all the lines that I see, I'm going to use my scary knife that I picked up and try to cut all those lines.
Awesome. What is your intention with that?
Again, to create chaos. So they're more interested in what they're obviously invested in whatever's going on here. I'd rather them go after that than after them too. So.
Okay. Yeah, please do. So that'll make us have a roll. So you are going to use this to cut. You really don't have a problem. So it'd be reason. And what's your best strategy you'd like to use for cutting the lines here?
I think it's still sleight of hand because I'm trying to do it fast.
Okay. Yeah. So
reason?
Sleight of hand. It would be reason, but it's imagine because it's sleight of hand.
Okay, imagine.
I don't know. No, it could be both. What's your reason? Your reason's probably not better for you, right?
No, imagine's better.
Okay.
But it's a failure either way. I
Okay.
succeeded on my strategy. I failed my soul skill.
It really just slightly the explanation. If you'd be like, hey, well, I use sleight of hand, I just kind of give him quick flicks without much terror. It's like, all right, well, that's imagine. If it's like I take my time, but using my sleight of hand, I saw it. Then, well, that's kind of yeah. Okay. So, no luck. Do you have any tags you can use?
I did have one success. I can use.
Okay.
Not really. Just choose one. No, I really don't.
Okay. So you both take 1 point. Now this mind or spirit? Because you're manipulating them still.
Yeah, that's
right.
my whole point.
It makes sense.
Do something there.
Okay. Underwater. Archie, you're underwater. It's getting kind of dark, but you are now kind of like catching where you're at. You didn't realize how far down you went, but you do see Grandin above you, and he's kind of hammering at the top of this glass bowl-headed figure, who's kind of a large person in this sort of like darkish blue outfit covering his body, but he has these tanks on his back as well. You can see a little bit of like glitter in the water around you, as some of the disarrayed metals have been kind of dispersed in the water, and they're just kind of like slowly descending around you. What do you want to do? Oh, I should say, and you also see a second figure now who is swimming this way.
The second figure is what, like below me, or?
Yeah, yeah. Below you, you can see that there's these lines that I kind of alluded to with Guido, and you see the person's kind of hanging on the lines and kind of climbing up it, and basically when you notice her, you can see that she basically kind of kicks off the wall from the lines and is kind of coming in your direction, but she's still a little ways below you. She won't get to you right away.
Okay. The first thing I want to do is skip to the surface and get at least a breath of air.
All right.
And then I can make a decision on what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I guess I said imagine used to jumping, my strong legs, right?
Sure. If you want to as well, we can have you sort of tug Grandin back towards the top if you'd like to add that in there.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Depending on how well you succeed, maybe you both get a breath of fresh air. But
2 successes.
Excellent. All right, but remember, swimming is a problem. So let's see that again.
Reroll 1.
You're like, I'm gonna leap off the rocks and then I'm just gonna paddle like this, and oh, why am I not going up? Yeah, so reroll your dice. See how you do.
Both of them?
Yes.
Now it's 1 success.
Okay. Any tags that would help you?
Energetic.
Nice, yeah.
I start kicking in a frenzy. It's still a failure.
Okay, so you get a hand on Grandin. You kind of lurch him up a bit, but your fingertips like lose grasp of him, and you then kind of are able to push off and get a breath of air. And of course, Guido, you see Archie's head pop up.
Okay.
Anything you want to say to him as you're, slicing the lines?
Yeah, I actually cut off their air.
I don't know what that means.
I'm just gonna say Archie has no ideas. I can't wait to see what Archie does with that information. Like, cut off their air. He's gonna like attack their air bubbles or something. I don't have a knife. So you take 1 damage and it takes 1 damage. So we both take 1 body. It sounds like so. Which is Archie and I. So just a note. Mine's at 5, body's at 3, spirit's at 3. We got swimsuits and swimming are the 2 advantages he has on you. And back to Grandin. Grandin, there was a moment there where Archie had grabbed you, maybe there's a moment of relief as your short kind of got tugged and it felt like it was a good pull. And then he must have lost his grasp. And you kind of hear the water bubble of like the splash of like him obviously breaking the water. It pulled you a little closer, but you're probably a good, 8-10 feet underneath the water at this point. And it's, the getting hard to breathe part and the choking on the water a bit is becoming problematic.
So at this point, the guy is still holding on to me. Got to get broken free.
Yeah.
Noticing the hammering's not working.
The good news about that is he actually was pulling you down, like more to his like height and length, kind of thing. But because you got tugged back up, he's still kind of down by your knees at this point. You could possibly kick free. It's possible. He does look kind of bulkingly strong, and you're a little disarrayed by the the slowness of movement down here.
Yeah, at this point, just trying to kick free and get some air because panic's setting in a little bit. Of
course. So how about you roll that? What strategy would you like to use? It sounds like imagine hammering because you're kicking. That's a lot like hammering.
That's got to be it. One success.
Okay. Any tags that would help you?
I've got desperate.
Yeah, that would help you. That's
still a failure.
Okay. So with your success, you both take 1 point of body. What's your body at now?
Body is at 2.
Okay. And you both are at 2. All right. So with that, you begin kicking at him, and just as you feel like you get one leg free, and you then get your second leg free, and you begin going up. The lines get cut, and some of the things on the lines begin coming down towards you, just as you reach for them to grasp for support. So they begin sinking, and your feet are kicking, but you can't swim. So you become stalled as the man reaches back up, and another hand grasps your leg again.
Oh, great.
There's that brief moment of hope. Up above, Guido, the lines have been cut. You're really left in the dark, which is funny because you're the one above water, but you don't know what's going on down there. You're creating chaos. You're messing things up, but your friends, other than Archie, was okay a minute ago. You're really at a loss of what's going on. There is the ship with the people who are laughing, looking down from above.
Right.
They're just laughing, like it's a show. They don't know what to make of this. This is ridiculous to them.
Crude jerks.
What would you like to do?
I do know that Grandin has not surfaced yet, so I'm starting to get a little worried there.
Yeah, he is not. Yeah.
So
you can still see him. He's not too far down.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab my knife, dive in, and I saw a hand grab him, so I'm gonna start stabbing at whatever's got a hold of him.
Do you put it in your teeth?
No, I want. I'm not that cartoonish.
Okay, all right. So you dive in. What strategy would you like to use to kind of either free him or give him space or help him out, or stab at the guy? If that's what you're.
It's still sleight of hand. It's really the only thing I got that's even remotely.
So that's going to be imagine.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm going to hold swimming against you. I don't know if you can swim.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay. Any tags you want to use?
How about aloof? Because if I'm not real concerned if I'm stabbing Grandin too. So
wow.
And that's a still failure. So 1 and 1.
All right. So so correct. You are in fact stabbing Grandin, which is some of the pain that he's been taking this whole time. So you do manage to stab both of them. As all you know is blood and air bubbles are coming up. Okay.
So does that mean Grandin takes my 1 body?
No. You take one body, but at the same point, yeah, we know figuratively that some of that damage you take may have been from you. In your case, maybe it's just from like you stabbing fiercely. Like, basically you're just beating the crap out of your hand as you're just kind of punching at things with the stiletto.
Yeah.
Sharp rocks and the like. That takes us back to Archie. Archie, the last thing you heard was a wise Guido tell you, cut the oxygen. Which I imagine you then went back under the water and saw him splash below and started wildly spearing what looks like both of them.
No.
As they both kind of struggle, and you can see the other figure below coming up. But the figure below that was coming up looks a little more like coming up, but then like trying to grab the lines. But there's too many things to do at once, so that person's totally distracted below you.
Well, I'm gonna start to put this like a wall here. Like, I guess with my hands, I grab that and I push down and try to kick at whoever the person grabbing Grayson. I guess I kick at their head.
All right, go for it. Probably jumping, right? I'm gonna see if something else.
Jumping, yeah.
I'm waiting for that. I give an underwater speech.
Wow, 2 failures. That's so special.
The good news is there's one body left of this challenge. So you just got to somehow make this one success, and you will help complete this. So you have 2 failures right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any tags that would help you?
Well, I have graceful.
You need to be graceful right now because there's a lot of stabby going on over there.
I know. That's still a failure.
Stabby.
Okay. You would take 2 points of damage. This is to your body. What's your body at?
I kicked the blade. Well, that would put me out. Actually, I had 2 body left. So.
Okay. So as you were kicking, you kick basically the bobblehead, and when you do, your foot gets stabbed by the stabbing motion. Conveniently, though, it did not mess your shoe up. It just totally got you in the ankle, okay? I'm not going to get your shoes twice. It stabs you in the ankle, and you basically, I imagine you reach for your ankle. But what happens to your character right now? Since you are defeated at the moment, poor Archie.
Well,
you're sinking is what you're doing.
Yeah. It's my dancing leg. What are you doing to me? Archie's flailing and sinking.
Okay, all right, and bleeding from the bleeding from the leg.
Sharks.
yeah. Nobody rolled critical failure because sharks are coming. So that's just don't even do that.
Guido's thinking, my only performer. How am I going to get my cut?
Okay, now for Archie, that was a double fail. So you, not pierced foot. Let's say lame leg for now.
Okay.
Just for lack of a better term. Sprained ankle, hurt foot. Anybody got a better idea? Like a pierced foot.
Yeah, lame leg wound.
Yeah, that can. Yeah, how about you make it limp? Unless you already wrote the other thing. Either one's fine. Yeah.
Limp is. I like that. Okay,
and then back to the top, Guido.
Or is it Grandin? Did you go?
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry, Grandin. Please. You've been stabbed.
I've been stabbed.
You're pretty sure everybody's been stabbed, but you can't make out all the limbs right now as you're kind of like in the middle, stuck.
Yeah.
People behind, in front of you, and below you, or all around you, like swinging things.
I've been stabbed. Archie is now a body floating down, down, down. I'm about to drown.
So this is not funny, but it's I just always picture Archie like, and that like Archie's like floating below. It's funny. I need a picture of Archie's character. Like I just so I can mentally picture it from now. Sorry, go ahead, please.
And giving up all hope, Grandin sees the air tank and some tubes coming out of it.
Yeah.
And he's gonna take Betsy and try and hook the tubes and yank them out in the hopes that maybe he can cut the air from the guy and actually get the air.
Excellent, sure.
So I'm gonna say hammering.
Yeah, go for it.
Imagine hammering. And that is 1 success.
Okay. You targeting the body?
Yep.
Okay. What negative tags do you have right now?
I have obsessed, desperate, and loopy.
Okay. Okay. So I have to use loopy because that's just the most fun right now. So being loopy, you try to hook, basically the things on the back, the top of his tank to like try to, unhook them from his mast. And as you do, you mistake those loops for basically like Guido's blade that he is basically trying to dislodge from Archie's foot, who's beginning to fall behind, but it's pulling his arm and the thing over to him. But there's so many legs and arms and limbs going on. You're trying to dislodge the wrong thing. So re-roll and see if you can pull it off.
Still a success.
Okay, great. And any tags you want to use to help you?
I only have negative ones left.
Okay, which is fine because anyway, the only reason it matters, I guess, is because you have 2 body left, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So you can take 1 body and I take 1 body. You'll complete the challenge. So why don't you tell us what happens when you dislodge the oxygen from this guy's tank?
I take the tube to my mouth and take in a big breath.
Nice. Yeah.
Really hoping that maybe it brings some air in, and then give a swift kick to the guy's helmet and push him down.
Sure.
Hope that he chokes.
You get a gratifying crack as you kick it right in the place that you hammered it several times earlier.
And I start trying to make my way up.
The man, as you can imagine, has the arm flailing scramble. He grabs the helmet and is kind of spinning in the water as the person's the tank is dislodged and is now starting to kind of push him in random directions. And okay, and you are easily able to escape upward. As you do, you can see that there are a bunch of these globules of the gold, like along the rocky side here, that are just kind of like hanging like Play-Doh, like elongated as you're getting to the top of the water.
Oh, I would stop and try and get those.
Sure. You're like, I can't breathe. I'm dying. I'm bleeding. Get this one and this one, this one, not this one.
I'm being desperate and obsessed.
That's right. I love how your character now is like a total. Well, I don't know if he's a totally different person, but that's a great package of descriptors right there. Guido, what are you doing? As the oxygen is disengaged, and you see the other person begin spinning and going down, and you see Granson for a moment has gotten away and begun swimming up, kind of pushed by the thrust of the oxygen.
I see Archie going down. And again, I don't care really that I stabbed him, but I don't want him to drown. So
you may not know that you stabbed him. You may not know.
It doesn't matter to Guido either way. But I don't want him to drown, so I'm gonna get him and then bring him up to the surface with me.
Okay, so you descend
and also,
down.
But I see that goal too. I'm pilfering as well.
Okay, so as you descend down, you can see that there's another figure who is holding a whole bunch of these lines. I'm sorry, who's holding 2 of the 4 lines and is kind of going down lower, obviously chasing another line you can kind of barely see because of the darkness. And the figure kind of stops and turns as it's looking at its friend who's being like forced in the wrong direction by the oxygen, and the glass bowl on her head kind of looks in your direction and has this sort of longing effect as you kind of grab Archie and then begin swimming upward. As you just kind of make glances where you can't see in that glass bowl, but you can only imagine that if it wasn't the hulking figure and there was only one other person down here, that may have been Mercedes staring back at you, and probably very angrily. Though you don't have very good eyesight underwater, and for sure she can't see you from this distance. That's crazy.
I don't care anyway.
Right. So the two of you begin swimming Archie up to the top. At the top, Grandin, what are you doing? You have these globules of gold. You're kind of bleeding. You get yourself propped up on the little cove there.
Patting my jumpsuit desperately to make sure I still have the gear. You
do have the gear, yeah. I don't know what you're wearing, but in my head, I always imagine you with the overalls, and it's like in that big pocket right there. But.
So yeah, just big sigh of relief, and I kiss it, and I kiss Betsy.
A glass bottle breaks beside you. As you realize the people on deck, one of them was like, "Hey, our friends haven't come up, and they cut their lines." And it sounds like the drunken three. There's four people. There's one woman and three guys who are all semi-wasted, looking very touristy. And one just threw a bottle, and they're having a drunken conversation about like, our friends haven't come up yet, and they cut the lines. You are dripping with water.
Boys, I suggest we make like a bunny and bounce.
I believe you're correct. As much as I'd like to meet Mercedes, I don't think this is the time.
I got you gold. I've delivered.
Wow.
Again, hastily, we should. I'm going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for
it. That's some introduction we got.
Grandin, so you kind of get up, scurry, grab the globules, and begin hightailing it, or what do you do?
Yeah, if Guido's gonna be running, I will be running as best I can in completely soaked engineer's jumpsuit.
Okay. For Archie, you come to. You feel this pain in your chest as something breaks off the side of you, and you wake up and you're kind of spitting water out, and you have the glass that's on top of you, and you basically look up and you can see that the sun's still out, and then you can kind of make out that the boat's there, and you wipe the water from your eyes, and it kind of burns. And then the glass that's on your body, as another bottle breaks nearby you, you can tell it's from someone throwing a bottle.
Well, I get up. I look. These bottles are coming from the boat, I guess.
Yeah. You see the man in the monkey suit? Oh, that's the guy. He put me in this stupid freaking suit.
Well, I don't want to get by bottle, so I start moving away.
Yeah.
Limping away as quickly as possible.
The both of you do occasionally get hit or feel the splash of alcoholic beverages and the the sugary ingredients and the little glass shards that are kind of break and splinter and hit you as the both of you make your retreat. Luckily, as you leave the arch, there isn't really much of a hard surface for them to hit you with, and they're drunk, so they're really not hitting you directly too much. Even they are, it hurts, but it's then the glass doesn't break if it hits you. So the two of you get to the beach. Guido not far ahead of you, but he is ahead of you because he's the only one in the best shape possible who's just running. Guido, you got basically Archie up to the top. The glass started breaking, and then you started running. And obviously, you're in the best shape, so you're ahead of the other two. Archie came to, and he is moving, but it's just funny that they're kind of limping along and battered, and he's holding the gold, and you're just like, all right, guys, we're good. Let's keep going.
That sounds like me.
Michael, Grandin has the globules he needs, and he has the gear. Where will he take them, and what will he do with them?
Well, there is the workshop in the airship. Thinks he has the tools he would need.
So that puts me back in place where the three of you get back to the town. As you basically, Archie, you're kind of like the furthest back, and as you know, the others who actually put a little bit of distance between them and you. And you still see them. It's just you're limping, and they're like 50 feet ahead of you. And you can hear eventually some woman just scream, like just a loud woman, like ah, like in anger.
Oh, she must have had that drink.
The three of you get to Salandon. You can see that the airship is eventually boarding in the distance, but the three of you are kind of wet and bloody and disgusting. Is there anything you want to do? You only have minutes before that ship's going to leave.
Well, I'm guessing I left the bag on shore and grabbed it. I got to quick get into that suit so I can get on.
For sure, yeah. You have minutes, but yeah, it's exactly like you get there and you're like, you can see that like people are going up the board basically back on the onto your airship, and it's the biggest at the dock. As it's like the main cruise liner right now being boarded, and you find your conveniently hidden bag and start changing. What about the other two? What are you doing?
Grandin will be waiting for Guido and filling him in on his backstory. Basically saying, points at the name tag. See that? It says Bretson. Now, you got to know, poor guy's first name is Brandon. I know. I know the jokes. Brandon Bretson. Brandon. It's horrible amongst the engineers. But go with it. We have fun with it.
Yeah, don't worry, I got this.
Okay, and Archie, what are you doing?
Well, I head straight for the fucking gangplank where everybody's boarding. Yeah. I'm the slowest anyway.
Do you care about your shirt?
Oh, my shirt. I forgot.
You probably, your character might have forgotten. You conveniently remember your shirt at this time, which may be the only time you wanted to forget about it. But
and your agent's number.
Yeah, you remember your agent's number now.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna forget about the shirt. I can't worry about the shirt now.
At least you have your shoes. You look down, one's covered in blood, but they're in good shape.
Yeah, gotta wash out.
I kind of I didn't think about you probably have an awkward clicking sound as you move. Like you get towards you're like, click, 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 click.
Sploosh.
Yes, sploosh. All right. So obviously, Archie, you have no problem getting in the ship. Granted, you're walking with Brandon Bretson, and they're not really good. The security is not awesome. It's not like they're checking. They just see you both walking basically in the engineer garb, and you both get on the ship. Archie, you're bleeding. Is there anything you want to do for that? Brandon, you're bleeding. Is there anything you want to do for that?
I want a drink.
As much as drink sounds great, I'm gonna find some medical attention.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Infirmary.
The three of you begin getting your wounds mended and drinking away your problems. But Grandin, tell us about the gear and what happens to it on a near date or maybe later that evening.
So, I mean, the gear will spend a solid night in Grandin's loving clutches. At his workbench.
He's got Betsy in his gear, like
one hand gear, other hand Betsy, globule on top, smashing the globules into the gear, and then using an electrical prod and electroforming. So whole electroforming process and trying to get that gold to coat that gear completely.
Okay. Sounds like resin electroforming.
All right. There we go. One success.
Okay. So why don't we get a montage of first, Kevin, how about you? What does your character do in the days or that same day, returning back from your adventures on Salandon?
First thing I do is go find Ellen and get some attention of my own.
Of course, yeah.
And then I start. I'm working really hard to book my my new act, Archie Twinkle Toes, and I'm making everything to make sure his leg's all right because this is my moneymaker right here.
Archie, what are you doing? And obviously, you have the affection and energy of Guido helping you at every turn.
Well, the first thing I do is go back to my stateroom and get a new shirt.
Certainly. There's a bleeding footprint leading up to his room. He forgot that. It's cool.
I get bandaged up, go back to the bar. Actually, I look to see. I need to talk to someone about. Well, I was on the ship for entertainment anyway. I gotta make sure I didn't miss any of my gigs.
Okay.
Don't worry, Archie, I'm getting you more gigs, more and more. I'm moving up.
You return. Obviously, it's been the day. So anything that should have been for entertainment that was scheduled was just suspended. They're either going to write it off, and if it was a big deal, which it doesn't sound like it was a big deal, they'll reschedule it.
Okay. Well, after that's sorted out, I go to the bar. See, that's how I stay happy. I need that space.
That's how I stay happy. Okay. So eventually, Grandin, you're going to get what you want of this. It's just not going to happen tonight. So tell us about that moment when your character gilds the perfect gear.
It's been
Gild the most beautiful gear. Sorry.
Yes. It's been hours and just nonstop, sleepless, probably, working 24 hours straight at this. All he sees is the gear. And that final tink of Betsy and the sheen of the glittering gold over the gear. And as it's all covered, the gear goes from kind of a soft, malleable sheen to a hard, almost glitter. Yeah, a glittering piece of wonder. Grandin holds it in the air and screams. I have done it!
Okay, so we've hit our milestone. So congratulations, my friends. We have gilded the most beautiful gear. Each of you will get your upgrades. So Everyone can raise 2 things if they have a number value, up to 7. Michael, since it was yours, you can raise 1 thing up to 8 and the other thing up to 7. If you need to add something, you could, of course, add a relationship or add a strategy at beginner. Or if you want, like we said, you can raise anything with the number value, like imagine, reason, wealth. You can't raise belief, but you can raise anything else. I have done it. Okay. Give you guys a second while you do that. Then after that, we're gonna do some vision rolls, and we're gonna do some gratitude, and then we're gonna be out of here.
Okay.
Everyone's belief is going to go up by 2, except for, unfortunately, Archie, your belief is going to stay the same.
Okay.
Up by 2?
Yep. I love that moment post game where you start reflecting on what happened. You start thinking about the moments that were really funny to you. So.
The whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it starts coming to you at pieces though. Like what about this? And oh yeah, that and this. Okay, Kevin, what'd you raise?
My both imagine and reason. So my imagine
Excellent.
7 and reason is 5.
Excellent. Michael, what'd you raise?
I raised hammering to legend.
Ooh, yes.
And added tinkering as beginner.
Excellent. Good idea. And Vincent, what'd you raise?
I raised my imagine to 6 and my reason to 5.
Okay. Very sound choices. So vision rolls. So everyone, please roll your dice, and one's under your imagine and one's under your reason. And let's see what we get. Just tell me how many successes.
I have 0 successes.
Excellent.
1 success.
1.
All right. So Kevin, the next milestone in our story of stealing the airship is to defeat the Dread Pirates. Now, why do we need to defeat the Dread Pirate?
He has a price on my head.
Yes. Has a price on my head. I need to remember to write this in very good handwriting so I can read it later. Otherwise, I ask if it's defeat the Dread Pilot. All right. And then if that's the case, if the Dread Pirate has a price on your head, how would you go about trying to defeat the Dread Pirate anyway?
That's a tough one. If he comes, well, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to trick him somehow. He's more powerful than us. He's got more wealth than us. So I think we have to trick him somehow.
And that works. Trick him. So you get a tag from me because you had 0 successes. So I'm gonna say if you need to be tricky, I'm gonna say you're wicked.
Okay. Do we get rid of our negative tags now?
We're going to talk about that in a second because we could do it during gameplay, but it is a little harder online because I'm not visually seeing them all the time. So we probably should take at least one pass at them and see if anything makes sense.
Okay.
I was just thinking that as I was giving you one, right? So moving right along, Michael, what's stopping us from defeating the Dread Pirate? And you are more than welcome to ditto his idea or expand on it if you like it.
I like his idea, but expanding on it he found out about my gear, and there's a price on all of our heads because he wants the gear.
Okay, and knows of gear. And how do you think your character would try to stop that dread pirate?
I'm hitting him in the head with a hammer.
Okay, and then that gets thrown out to the other two players. It gets thrown out to the other two players of what you think would be a good tag for him if he's going to hammer the dread pirate.
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe he needs to be precise, or maybe he needs to be wild or fearless. Maybe he needs to be dreadful, you know.
Ruthless. How about ruthless?
I like ruthless.
All right, you get ruthless.
All right.
Okay, you said hammer. Okay, and Vincent, last but not least, we need to defeat the dread pirate. So, how are we going to do that?
How?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I should say why. Why do we need to defeat the dread pirate?
Let me see. Well, I need to defeat the dread pirate because he wants to cancel a halftime show.
Cancel my halftime show.
I stole something from him. He wants Grandin's gear, and he also wants to cancel the glorious halftime show.
What a bastard.
Okay, and what strategy, I shouldn't even put it that terms. How would your character go about defeating him so that your halftime show doesn't get canceled? Which, I mean, is the same thing as also asking how you're going to defeat him.
Well, we're gonna publicly disgrace the dread pirate.
Nice. Public disgrace. All right, and he needs a tag. Guys, what should we tell him? Archie needs a tag to help him publicly disgrace someone.
Clout?
Okay, that's good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
He needs clout.
I like it, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's good.
Vincent, please write clout on your sheet. You need to have clout, which is like the respect of your peers or some reputation or some, yeah. Okay. All right. So we got vision rolls out of the way. Let's do that real quick about the tags, like Kevin mentioned. So Kevin, what negative tags do you have?
I have overconfident is my only one.
Okay. Oh, that's your only one?
Yep.
All right. Does anybody think that he's no longer overconfident?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so either. Yeah. All right. So that stays. Michael, what negative tags do you have?
Obsessed, desperate, and loopy.
Okay. Does anybody think his character is no longer obsessed?
He's still
Very
obsessed.
obsessed.
He's
So
absolutely obsessed.
It sounds like we're probably close to you no longer being obsessed. Or possibly, I don't know. We'll see.
No, I think he's very well. I mean, he has what he wants now, but he's still obsessed.
I think he's obsessed. He's obsessed.
Okay. What was the next one?
Desperate.
Is he desperate?
I don't think so anymore.
No.
We did make the gear, so I don't think.
All right. You are no longer desperate.
All right.
Because I love how that's really fun though, how some tags supersede the other because they're like, no, you were obsessed. I don't care if you were stubborn. You can be stubbornly obsessed, okay? What's the third tag?
Loopy.
Loopy.
No, I don't think he's loopy.
Okay. You are no longer loopy. Okay. And basically this is something we would do in gameplay. As they would come up. But yeah, it is a little weirder with it. Usually it'd probably be more on me to throw that out every so often. And at the end of a milestone, it's probably a good idea if they haven't been visited earlier. So I'll have to make a note of that. All right, Vincent, do you have any negative tags? Yes, you do.
I have the limp. And what was the other one? When I lost my shoes, it was...
It was like depressed or something. I don't remember what.
It was something like that.
Night tags at Milestone revisit. Okay. All right. Well, if we don't know it, it's on the sheet, so I guess you're not depressed anymore. What was the other one? Was the limp?
The limp.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure that limp's staying for a little bit longer.
Yeah, that limp will be around.
Yeah.
No problem.
Okay. So we cover the negative tags. Are there any tags that anybody thinks somebody's missing? So, Kevin, real quick, what does your character have so far? Don't mention anything blocked.
Okay, overconfident, aloof, in the shadows, and wicked.
I have to say, well, I was going to say alcoholic, but that might be for Archie.
They can both have it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, social drinker.
So if you say that, Vincent, do you think he should be an alcoholic?
Yeah.
And if you have to think about it, I'm going to say no.
No, I like it actually. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Kevin, please add alcoholic.
Now, is that on the left side or the right side?
Right side. But probably at the bottom right, because that's where you're going to put usually your the negative ones cover up your good stuff. But so this isn't a negative one. Oh, I'm sorry. If we voted on, it's on the left side. I'm sorry. You're right. Listen to me. It's hard when you make game rules because you keep changing them. Okay. So, okay. And you mentioned it for Vincent. So, Kevin, do you think that Archie is an alcoholic? And remember that the thing here is you can always say like yes, or you could also say like no and throw something else out.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think it's part of his profession to drink quite a bit. So
okay.
I think for him, it's more of a.
That's what an alcoholic would say.
but I'm one. So. He's turned out not only to be forgetful, but flighty. Like he's super flighty.
Yeah. Well, Michael, do you think he's flighty and forgetful or just forgetful?
No, I love it. Flighty's great.
Okay. Vincent, go ahead, flighty on the left side of your tags.
Okay.
And technically, I am voting now, so I'm voting with you guys, but I'm kind of voicing my opinion if I don't agree. So, okay. Does anybody think that we're missing something for Michael? So, Grandin, go ahead and mention yours.
Obsessed, ruthless, and handy.
Is there anything that jumps out at you about how he's played his character that maybe should be mentioned there that's not?
Antisocial.
That's a pretty good one, yeah. Vincent, do you think his character's antisocial?
Yeah.
He certainly hasn't gone to get anybody else.
No.
Everything and everybody has come to him.
When we went to the bar, he sat there with the gear.
And he got water.
All right, I think that's pretty clear. Go ahead and write antisocial.
All right.
Now, the big thing to remember, too, is if those 5 on your left side, if you have to add like a 6th one, it's going to replace one. So, okay. Is there anything we should add for Archie? We talked about flighty. Is there anything we're missing? Vincent, what tags does your character have?
Energetic, forgetful, and graceful.
And now flighty.
Now flighty.
No, I like it. I can't think of it.
No, that's good.
He's
Yeah.
somewhat accident prone. But
He is, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate, but
Unfortunate.
And you guys can put that on him. I mean, if you want to, like. Accident prone's pretty great. I don't know how the thing that's funny about it is it's more about him using it to his advantage.
True.
I mean, he may never figure out how to do it, but it may be funny if he's like, well, my character is accident prone, so.
I mean,
We'll leave. I was gonna say we could leave that one, and that's now we got it in people's heads anyway. We could always throw it on later.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that.
Michael, what were you saying? Sorry.
I was gonna say, I think he has been accident prone, but I'm not sure we can necessarily say that's part of his character. I think that's just
if he
part of what's happening.
Goes out again in the next session, he's definitely dead.
Okay, so last but not least, everybody think a second about what's your favorite moment that some other player gave you in this story today, and whoever's got the first one, just spit it out, please.
I love how Kevin just disappeared when the guy with the knife was coming.
By the way, I love that. I was like, the guy was really just trying to scare the three of you away. Like most people, when some crazy guy just starts running at you with a knife, just keep running away. But so that was all it was like he really. I mean, he would have tried to like scare you away if he got up to you. I mean, it could have been a fight, but it's just funny that. He was really just trying to look like a crazy maniac, and the first thing he would have done getting up to you is probably, like screamed at you to try to chase you away. But it's funny.
My favorite moment, I think, was when Archie jumped off the ship mid-flight, realizes I don't know how to swim.
Yeah, that was gonna be mine. Just the image of this shirtless dude jumping off of a boat. And then midair, just like, oh.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that was great. Anything you want to say to the people who will watch this eventually before I tune them out?
Thanks for coming
I'm
on for the ride.
not really antisocial.
I'm not really antisocial. All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys again in 2 weeks for this one. And I'm going to just stop our broadcast now.